My name's Jay, and that's a start. And I DJ and produce. The name's Stray, and I'm 21, and I've been producing for about 8 years. And I have had tracks out on Exit, Krippl, Med School, Visible, Brownswoods, a few labels. So I guess that's why you've got me down.
So, and what have you brought to music?
What have I brought?
Yeah, what was the initial point when you decided, yeah, this is it?
Well, my brother is a jazz pianist, and he's always sat with me since I can remember. Sat with me at the piano and played kind of music games, and always kind of ingrained it in. And I had a really healthy upbringing musically. There's always a lot of good stuff being played in my house. It was quite a focal point of my household. Everyone was doing music, so I guess it just sinks in when you're at that kind of impressionable age. And now it's the only thing that really makes me tick. Makes me really feel good. So I've got to do it. I don't have a choice.
So you do the music for a living?
I do it for a living at the moment. Yeah, I'm just keeping myself ticking over. I'm living up in Leeds, which is a little bit easier to afford than London, and yeah, keeping myself ticking over with the music just about. But just finished university, so trying to make my plans for the future of everything.
What did you study?
I studied maths and philosophy for 3 years, yeah, and it was good, it was interesting. It's nice to have a chance to be sort of forced in a way to study academically, to get your brain into that kind of gear.
So it definitely helped you in a way how to make music?
Yeah, I mean the philosophy side of things is good as well, and actually maths is quite related to music in a lot of ways. I quite like the idea of leaving music up to a computer, not all the time, but to sort of mathematical equations and seeing how those translate to music. Always really interesting. Well, yeah, Leeds is nice because it's kind of a bit of a cosier scene than London. You can really know everyone when you go out. Yeah, London's wicked, but obviously it's so extensive and keep changing. But yeah, I guess with both things, it's just a whole lot more dance floor orientated nights, which I don't really have a problem with. But it's good that you can have some sort of really deeper things going on over here. Good scenes nonetheless in London, as you know. Blue Martin, I have everything to thank for. He really sort of brought me into the scene. He's very good at kind of, I guess, hearing potential in new producers, because I was sending Chris, who's one of the guys in Blue Martin, tracks since before I called myself Stray. I'm talking about 4 or 5 years ago, and he would listen to them and go, you know, it's really good, do this to it, then eventually started playing my stuff. And he lives just down the road from me in London, so I've always spent a lot of time just with him in the studio, just talking and kind of making music, and then he had his album project coming up, the new album, Love is the Devil. I'm a massive sucker for Radiohead, actually. Okay. I'm a real Radiohead fanboy. So again, maybe a lot of kind of the kind of palette and chords and music. Tom York likes to work with it. Again, it's just ingrained itself into my kind of musical sense in a way that you can't really choose to do or not. It's just there. Same with Aphex Twin. I mean, yeah, Square Fisher.
So what?
Yeah, I mean, I was always into. I wasn't into drum and bass until quite late, until I was about 16, and I liked all the sort of IDM stuff like Square Fisher and Luke Viber before that. And I came into drum and bass through like drum funk kind of things like Equinox, sort of Amen fuckery, all that kind of stuff, because it was more similar to Apex Twin, and that was a platform to get into drum and bass, and so that's how I sort of got into it. But yeah, those are my influences, I think, and also my brother is a massive influence, one of the biggest influences on me. Yeah, so there's a lot of people moving away from drum and bass.
Really?
Yeah, there is.
Why?
I guess you know, once you realise you can experiment and do things at slower tempos, there's a lot more room to breathe, which is really nice, and I like doing as well. I've got a bunch of slower stuff, but I still love drum and bass, and I don't really see the need to stop doing it. I still love it. The scene at the moment is good. You definitely need to look hard, but if you do look hard, there's a lot of amazing stuff out there to be found. Drum and bass really, for me, isn't any different to any other genre in the sense that there's a lot of shit and there's a lot of good stuff. I like about 2% of it, but I only like about 2% of any other genre anyway, so it's no different really. Definitely, the thing about what Instrumental and D-Bridge did was that it made me feel like I was able to do stuff like that and have it fall on anticipating ears and have people really enjoy it for once. And it really opened up the scene.
What's your favorite number?
Of the whole autonomic?
Of the podcast.
Of the podcast?
Tricky one.
I can't remember which number. I guess 6 seems to be quite a good one.
Okay.
I can't really remember, to be honest. So what happened with Pushed was, as I said to you earlier, I'm friends with a guy, Ramadan Man, Pearson Sound, and we started writing a track together because D-Bridge had asked him for a 170 tube for his Fabric Live CD. And then we never ended up finishing it, but then around the same time I did Pushed and sent it to Darren as well, and then he signed it for the Fabric CD and then wanted to put it out on the Mosaic album, and I was really happy because I love D-Bridge and I love his work and the label, and he's waiting on a 12 from me, so I've just got to write stuff he wants to put out, and yeah, it's a pleasure working with him, definitely, and always something I'd wanted to do. So. Visuals wise, I've always been a massive fan of good audio-visual stuff and combining the two worlds when it's done well, and as I was saying to you earlier, everything's sort of synchronized. It's a real good experience when you can have the video matched to the sound and everything's kind of pulsating. And I'd had some ideas at one point to get a system up in a club which was kind of like exactly that, like sort of fractals or kind of a tunnel just moving at the same time as the music, and it seems to really be good for the people involved dancing because it just makes a whole new world and everything. I guess next you could pump in like fake music as well, I don't know. But yeah, it feats for all the senses, definitely.